What's going on, guys? Welcome in here, Kurt Magoosh and Slaughterhouse Sports. And tonight we're looking at just one of my favorite prospects just because he's from, I like this kid. You know, he looks like Trevor Lawrence. He's from Gretna, Nebraska, and small town Nebraska. Not a lot of quarterbacks come from the state of Nebraska. Only a couple of guys, and he's an in-state guy. And of course, Nebraska has chosen, William Pop Watson, and they're recruiting Dylan Raiola. And both of those guys are immensely talented. It isn't a knock on those guys. I'm just saying in Zane's case, kind of like Joe Burrow, he's going to use that as a chip on his shoulder, and he should use it the right way. Now, Gretna, I think, is like 20 minutes outside of Omaha, Nebraska. And this is a pro-style quarterback, so this is an interesting quarterback. He probably is in the mold of Clint Shelf, J.W. Walsh. I mean, J.W. Walsh was actually an athletic, he was primarily a running quarterback. I know that they had Taylor the Corn Dog Cornelius. Taylor was like 6'5". Brandon Whedon, 6'2", but a lot bigger kid. This kid is a slim, 6'2", but I even think he might even grow another inch or so. But he just has such a compact, release when he throws the ball. A little maybe like Drew Stanton at Michigan State. I mean, everything about this kid's game, he's deadly, deadly accurate, and his footwork is impeccable. He's great in the pocket. He's a great, great rhythm thrower. Like, I'm really excited, and he does have good arm strength, so I'm really excited to see him at Oklahoma State. Here he's going to get those tough yards, like those Sam Ehlinger yards in the middle of the field. He isn't Sam Ehlinger, but if a play breaks down, he can occasionally extend his legs, but he likes working in the pocket. You see the pump fake, the beautiful catchable ball that he throws out in front of the receiver. So, I mean, he had such an efficient season, and he talked before the year to, the Nebraska reporters. He said, I'm going to work on the deep ball. And to see a guy come out of Gretna, Nebraska, and make it on the big stage and go to Oklahoma State, the entire state of Nebraska is still going to be rooting for this kid. And this is a great example of Zane Flores. I've just come to watch this kid's highlight tape because he's been going up of 24/7. This is a beautiful, kind of a wheel route concept that they work, a pro-style approach. And you don't think of Gundy as running like the most pro-style. You think of it as, pretty basic, Mason Rudolph, air raid stuff. But here, watch, he's going to put this throw. He knows that the corner's going to carry, and he's going to throw a really catchable ball, and he throws the railroad route absolutely perfectly. So he can really throw accurately. His footwork, look at his feet. Great footwork, rises and fires. And the one thing about his release is even though he's 6'2", and when he's throwing the ball, he might be 6'1.5", the way he has a quick release and also the release that can get over defenders. Because look, it's a high release. It's a deadly quick release. That's his strength. He can pick you apart in the middle of the field. All right. So, and his footwork is excellent. Look at that stride as he takes the snap, fires it to the sideline with a ton of authority. So he's a timing-based passer that has to beat you with film, beat you with his brain. All right, he's going to beat you with his brain because he's going to be on schedule. He's an on-schedule passer. That's who Zane Flores is. And he can layer the heck out of the football, meaning he could throw it over linebackers before safeties. He just has a really good feel as a passer at depth perception, okay? It's a little wobbly, but still, the throw is just perfect depth, meaning like it's always the right yardage in the air, okay? He's not overthrowing his guys, okay? He knows depth perception. Here he goes through some reads, too. I mean, the offensive line deserves a shout-out, and Zane would probably be the first to tell you that because they picked this up so well that he's throwing from a clean pocket. But that's a 15-yard throw in a tight window with plenty of velocity to a really covered target. And I believe he's going for reads as well. Very well coached at Gretna High School. Very well coached. Great weight transfer, light on his feet, really good footwork. There's just a lot of talent that he's going to bring to Oklahoma State's room. okay? And it shows you the versatility, because what is Spencer Sanders? An incredible 6'3", could make improvisational throws. And Zane Flores, they're completely different quarterbacks. Spencer Sanders can run for a 60-yard touchdown. Zane isn't going to do that with his legs, but Zane can pepper it in, and he's going to take you on long drives, and Zane's going to be even more accurate in the short to intermediate passing game than a Spencer Sanders coming out of, again, Denton Guyer High School, okay? But Sanders is efficient, and Sanders wins, but it shows you the versatility of Oklahoma State. It also makes you wonder, because Juracek is no longer there. Mike Gundy's been there for 23 years. You always wonder what's next. Jim Knowles leaves. How long is Gundy fit for Oklahoma State? But I'll tell you what, for Zane Flores, with the quarterback vacancies filling up quickly, I think that this was a really good decision, because Nebraska's, again, they got Purdy, Heinrich Harburg's a massive talent from in-state. Pop Watson's going to be a special player, I think. Raiola, his uncle's on staff, and of course I think his dad was a legend at Nebraska as an offensive lineman, and his uncle's literally the line coach, okay? So it's not an offense to Zane. I think Nebraska even offered him. It's just that it's a crowded quarterback room, and where are you going to see the field? Because I really think in Mark Whipple's offense, this guy would have been freaking lights out. I think he's a Whipple pro-style guy. I mean, he's making a lot of throws that Kenny Pickett is making, but he can throw it 45 to 50 yards on a line, okay? He has that arm strength. He has a little Taylor Heineke in his game, and he's even a little taller than Taylor Heineke. Look at this. Moves back in the pocket, stands in there and takes a hit and makes a big-time throw. This kid is a big-time pro-style quarterback. I'm a big fan of this guy. Because he's from Gretna, I think he was under-recruited. I absolutely think he could have been like a Danny Etling at like LSU. I think he could have been a very productive quarterback anywhere. Okay, look at him throw across the field. The concepts, okay? Run the ball, do a little, play action. Like, is there a world in which this guy is better than Klubenik and he's better than Chris Vizzini at Clemson? Like, yeah. I think he could be just as productive as those guys in particular. I really do. I think he's a really good quarterback. He checks every box. Quick thrower, decisive, great depth perception. Has a good arm, great release, great footwork, great form. Okay, well schooled, a good worker. I mean, the one thing that he doesn't have is, he doesn't have incredible escapability. He doesn't have the most height in the world. His arm strength is okay. It's not, there's some guys that have elite traits at the quarterback position, okay? You're top of the top guys. But I'm telling you, this guy should be a top 12 probably quarterback in the class, all right? It's going to be hard to find 12 more efficient passers than this kid. And again, it's all in terms of how it works out, right? But in terms of ranking, this kid is a really good quarterback. I think easily in the top 13 in the class. Because again, this kid is a good player. And again, small town Nebraska, you root for a kid like this, right? You root for a kid, that again has to really put himself on the map, especially from the state of Nebraska. And Nebraska people, I mean, that this community of Gretna, it's awesome. It's awesome. I've liked Nebraska sports for a while. So this kid, again, low to high. I mean, this kid is just executing the offense at such a high level, man. This kid's a baller. They put the ball in his hands, good things happen. Watch this play here. Again, he reads the defense, little play action, bam, puts it on the guy. There's no wasted motion with Zane. All right, I'm a fan of Zane Flores.